All right, bringing out my Irish blood. I want to make some corned beef and cabbage in my can cooker. And so to start that out, we're going to make our corned beef out of venison, and we're going to start this whole thing from scratch. So this is how we do it. I got a couple of the roasts off the hind quarter of the big doe that I shot this year, and that's what we're going to make our corned venison. I don't know how this whole corned thing came about. I've read some different stuff on it, and I guess the basic one is because the salt they used to use to make this was big and looks like kernels of corn. But so there's your useless fact of the whole video. All right, this thing is pretty easy. It just takes a shit ton of time because it's going to sit in the refrigerator for like 5 to 7 days. So let's get started. It's a pretty easy recipe. We're going to go here at 6 cups of water, and I'll try to figure out how to put all of this stuff in that list on YouTube. You know, I'm just an ordinary guy trying to figure that YouTube thing out. But anyways, we got 6 cups of water. So we're going to go with 1.5 cups of salt. And we use kosher salt for this, just because it does have the bigger kernels. You can use canning salt. Well, this comes out slow. Anyways, we need 1.5 cups of this. So we got a cup. The canning salt's also pickling salt. You can use that too. And you know, this is a couple things I only really measure is the salt, just because, I mean, how many handfuls are you going to go with that? So we dump that in there. And then we're going to go, we need a 3/4 cup. You can go, you know, almost a cup, but 3/4 is what the recipe that I've written down is. So let's put that in there. And I think you can use lighter brown sugar, but when they say brown sugar in anything, I always use the dark stuff. So that is about a cup. So that'll work. It's 3/4 cup to a cup. Then we need a pickling spices. Now, this has like bay leaves and mustard seed and all that good stuff in it. So I'm going to use about that much. It's about half of one of these things. And then we're going to use the important stuff, especially for me, is this pink curing salt, or it's you can get it at sausage makers. Fleet Farm sells it. Most places where you can make venison jerky, stuff like that, sell this. This stuff is got 2 things. One, it keeps the meat, makes it pink. I never knew that until probably a year ago. I just thought it was to keep you from getting the diarrhea. Because if you don't use this and you screw this up, you're gonna you might kill somebody because you're gonna have botulism. And you don't need much of this. 3 teaspoons. And this stuff, I recommend you measure because you don't want to come short. We actually need 5 because we're 1.5 the thing here. So a teaspoon. There it is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're daring, or you're one of them guys that say, oh, I don't need all that modern crap, I'm going to do it the olden way. You don't need this, but I'm telling you, first time you get the shits from doing this, you're going to be wishing you had it. Next thing we want is just a couple of bay leaves. Even though your allspice has, or your pickling spice has bay leaves in it, get the big ones because it helps. Then the other thing is peppercorns. We want 2 tablespoons. Ooh, that's a little much. That's about 2 tablespoons. There's that. That's it for this. Now all we're going to do is we're going to get this hot and boil it, bring it to a boil, and that's going to help us dissolve all of these solids in here. And then we got to let it cool down. Do not use this when it's hot. So we're going to get this boiling, and then we're going to let it cool down, and then we'll go on to the next stage. A couple important things. Do not use it hot. use this so you don't get the diarrhea, and make sure you measure it. Everything else is kind of a, you know, just whatever to taste. You can't really screw that part up. So we're going to get this on the stove, and we'll be back when it's cool. Alright, we just got a lot of liquid in there, and it keeps sucking it up in the thing. I should have left that bag longer. It's like I knew I should have. Instead I cut that extra off, but if I'd have left that, I'd have been alright. So now all we're going to do is basically turn this into a Ziploc baggie. We're just going to heat seal it shut since I'm this far along. At least it won't spill in the refrigerator. There we go. So now we're just set this in the refrigerator, and then every day, once a day, I'll go in and I'll flip it over and kind of mix everything up. Then the next day, and this will probably take 5 to 7 days. There's really no way to tell that it's done. It's done really after 5 days. If you want a little bit more corned beef tasting, you go to 7 days. And I know some people, the old timers, say keep it in 15 days, but I don't keep it in that long. So we're just going to stick this in the refrigerator, and we'll see you in about 7 days. All right, it's been about 6 days. We got our corned beef here. We've been turning it over every day. Every day it sits like this. The next day I pull it out, I mix it up, I set it like this. And the next day I pull it out, I mix it up, I set it like this. So it's been 6 days, and we are ready to make some corned venison and cabbage and potatoes in the can cooker. So this is we'll just dump this out. Oh yeah, that's nice and firm. Smells freaking amazing. Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision. Put that in there. Oh yeah, look at that. Now you can see it stayed pretty red, and that's because of that salty, or that stuff that I told you don't give you the shits. So probably me and Melissa right here. That'll be a good size. Yeah, that's pretty big too. But we got Cody to feed too. She's homesick, so we're gonna make up this. We're going to take this stuff right here, and we're going to put this in the freezer so we have it for St. Patrick's Day and everything. And let's get this thing on the road. We need some Pam Original, because we are all out of the olive oil Pam. That sucks, because that stuff was working really good. Okay, we got our racks in there. We're going to spray this all down. Dakota, shush, buddy. You know, he's scared. He's afraid it's going to turn out so good I'm going to kick him in the nuts. Poor little guy. All right. So it's a big old chunk of meat, so we're going to put that in the bottom. Like I said, usually when I got thinner cuts of meat, I put them up on top, but that's a big old cut, so we're going to put it in the bottom. And we're going to throw some taters in there. Just going to half them bad boys. Oh, yeah. You know, there's nothing better than taking your venison and trying all kinds of different stuff with it. You know, there's not a lot of meat on a deer, so sometimes I hate doing it because there's only so much stuff that I like. And they limited the dough tags this year, so I couldn't put the whack in the stack on a bunch of them. So we're just going to do some of my favorite recipes. We got tater, we got some, got our cabbage here. Let's look at that. That's going to look freaking amazing with it. It's going to taste awesome. Telling you guys, every time I do a cooking video with the can cooker, somebody buys one. And if you're got the guy that bought one last time, you better buy one this time, because you are surely missing out. And you know what? I don't make a freaking dime off of that. I'm just telling you guys what I know works. Now, we got some Big Wood Brewery Craft Brewed Bad Axe Ale. I'm thinking that an ale, is going to be really good. Look at how dark that is. I think an ale is going to be really good with corned beef. I don't think regular old Miller will do it justice. So let's do that. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to that. And I know most can cooker recipes are telling you don't have to worry, just cook the beer. But you know what I found out? Man, sometimes the alcohol burns out so fast, you end up scorching the bottom. So I always add water to it because it ain't going to hurt it. Just get a little more steam and a little more pressure. All right. Since the meat is actually kind of pickled, that's what it is. It's corned, it's pickled, it's salted, it's preserved. I'm thinking 35 minutes. Maybe, yeah, probably 30, 35 minutes. Got my dime on there. We're going to crank her up. Oh, jeez. All right, man. We'll be back. All right. We're all ready for the corned venison dump. We did this one about 35 minutes. I'm thinking it should be good to go. Oh, yeah. Oh. Smells amazing. Ooh, steam my glasses up. I always do that. And here we go. The dump. Oh, look at that. It's falling right. Oh, that's the cabbage. Oh, there's the meat. Taters. Oh, man. Look at that. It looks freaking amazing. There's our dinger. The dinger went off. Remove these racks. That purple cabbage really cooked up nice. And get a knife. Oh, perfect texture. It's firm. Still red. Here we go. Tastes amazing. It's a little tough yet. That's okay. Corned beef is a little bit tough, but it's a little tough, but it tastes amazing. Let's eat. All right. So the corned beef and cabbage in a can cooker hit some glitches. Turned out amazing, but it took a long time to get there. First time we pulled it out, it was a little bit tough. I started eating it, I'm like, you know what? This is way too tough. So I put it back in the can cooker and I cooked it some more. And then I brought it out after a half hour and it was still tough. Now I've always made my corned beef in a pressure cooker. So we found out that like in a slow cooker and stuff, it takes hours. So we said, well, we'll throw it back in there. We're going to keep cooking it. We'll check it every half hour and see how long it takes. Took about an hour and a half and we got it to where we wanted. It's fairly tender. Great flavor. Turned out excellent. I'm happy with it. Just, you know, if I cook it again, I'm going to cook it in a pressure cooker. But a lot of people out there don't have a pressure cooker or they're afraid of a pressure cooker. So I would say use the can cooker. Just remember it's going to take a lot longer. So what I would do is not put my potatoes and cabbage in there until maybe closer to the end or pull them out when they're done and then keep going. So again, can cooker does it again. The whole recipe turned out great. Man, it's like kick a leprechaun in the nuts good.